Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Pashvika. Welcome to my art vlog. Now you could see my hairs are tied up, so I'm just gonna unpin my hairs first of all, and then we will going to work. Now today I have already told you that I would be working on my pieces, and also I'm gonna be working on textures, watercolor textures, because I've been having some of them and I need to work upon that. So I'm gonna be working on that. Now I just washed my hairs and I pinned it, so now it's looking perfectly fine. So today is we will going to work upon all those things. So first of all, we will be working on watercolor textures. So I have my paper sets and I'm going to be making these textures because I want to scan them and edit them in the Photoshop, and then I want to use it for my art printable shop that I created on the Etsy, because there I'm selling the watercolor art printables. So I want to work on that. And then we will going to work on the clay, and I'm going to be also telling you the difference between this solution and the spray bottle that I use on my clay paintings. And also I'm going to be finishing up with my old clay work. So this is just a tutorial talking with you guys, also working on the watercolor textures, and along with that also working on the remaining pieces of the clay that I have on my table. I want to finish up them and just get ready for that. So let's get straight with today's vlog, guys. You could see I have on my desk table these were papers and the brushes I'm gonna be using for watercolor texture. So I think I'm gonna first work on the watercolor texture. Then this one I made in my previous vlog. I'm gonna leave them in the card section above if you haven't seen it. But you could see that I am finding a cracks on them. So I need to fix these cracks because you could see the cracks on that. And also this one, there is a crack and I have sprayed it with that particular spray with that fixative. So I'm going to be comparing with these two. So first of all, we will going to work on the watercolor texture, and then I'm going to proceed with that. Okay guys, starting with these two watercolor papers. Now I'm going to be taking a water and using my most favorite technique, that is a wet on wet technique, because that is a technique that I most commonly used a lot many times. And I feel like that technique is really helpful if you're creating a watercolor texture, because it's allowing you to create a surface where you can add the texture, where you can guys, I have made this colors. Now I think I need to allow it to dry, and maybe using some other color on the side, maybe using a orange a bit. So this is an orange red, not really a raw orange, because orange is a little lighter in color. This is the red mixed with the orange, so that's why you've seen a darker color shade over here. So you could allow it to float freely. At both of these textures, I'm allowing it to dry completely. Now this one is looking pretty beautiful, guys, how the colors are mixed equally well together. You could see it's going a little bit lighter. I think I need to add more colors to it so it retain its darker color. Add more over here, so I'm going to be using these two colors again, and we'll be adding more colors to it because it's getting lighter and we don't want it to be too lighter. So I'm going to be using this color again. And now allowing the colors to equally set well with the water, because water is already there. I don't need to add too much of the water to it because water is already there. So I think I'll just gonna leave it like that only. As you could see that I'm allowing these colors to be like that only because They're gonna spread it evenly onto the paper. Once it's dried, then we will going to use it. Looking pretty amazing. How the green and orange has been mixed equally. You guys can see that I have already done with this part of the work. Now the another thing I'm gonna be working is on the clay part, because I wanna test this thing out. I did it with this clay, but accidentally I broke this one. That accident happened. I broke this clay miniature, and now you could see the flowers are not there, but still I can test it for specifically for my that solution. So I'm gonna be doing that. Using these two, this one I have made, but accidentally it was broken, so I'm just gonna apply water to this layer, because I have used this solution. This is a natural solution I used to actually seal my clay. So I'm gonna test it with the water, whether it's water resistant or not. So I'm gonna be placed a water on that. You could see guys very well, I have placed a water into that. The same thing I'm going to do with my second piece. I have applied a fixative, that is a chemical to it. So I'm going to be actually seeing the difference between these two, which one is the best, because I want to have an eco-friendly approach to my clay sculptures, and I'm going to seal them in a way using a solution that is more eco-friendly, not a chemical base. So I was really in a search of that. So I took the one is the varnish, one is the fixative, that is a chemical. This one is done with the chemical, and this one is done with the natural clay. So you could see this one is done with the natural clay. So I'm going to compare both of them, which one is more water resistant and which one is more perfect. I think that obviously the chemicals one would be more perfect because they are made from the chemicals, but if I can get the same thing from the eco-friendly, then I would really prefer the eco-friendly solution, which is this one. It is pricey than the fixative. It's really pricey, but I just want a more eco-friendly approach, so I don't think about that pricey stuff right now. So I have applied the water, guys. You could see. Let me see if my sculpture is getting soft or not while applying the water to it, because I haven't fired it. Let me see. I don't see that the clay is coming out of the brush. Like, I don't see the clay is coming out of it. And this one is the applied with a varnish, and the same is the case of the varnish. I think both of these solution are working well. The clay is not coming out of it once the solution have been applied, and it's kind of like a more water resistant. Obviously the chemical would be having more shelf life rather than this natural solution, but I would prefer the natural one, and would really give the instruction of the someone who is ready to purchase my pieces, told them that be prepared because I have used the natural one. So that's why you might see some of the things which won't work with the chemical one. But again, these are the sculptures. These are just need to be wall hangings. Okay, these are not to be used in the kitchen or something like that. So I don't have any issue with that. But I could see that these are the more water resistant. The clay is not coming out of it. I could see clearly that the clay is not coming out of it. It's normal. The same thing is, guys, clay is not coming out of it. You could see the water is just like that only. The same thing is over here. The clay is not coming out of it. So I think that both of them are perfect. Both of them work in their own way. So I would prefer with the natural solution rather than with this chemical. Mess, guys. Now this is my mess. This is my tools. This is the second part of the clay. Another clay I have bought. This one is a terracotta clay. This one is a gray clay. Then the mat is there and all that kind of stuff there. I mixed a lot of the water into it. So you could see it's kind of like a messy. I kept it in the window because I want to have a light over it. But I think I'm gonna choose this one. And we're going to make something out of it. Then I'm going to be choosing this one because I want to correct my old pieces. So I really want this, and I would be experimenting with that. So let's move on with that. See that, guys, this is a terracotta clay. This is earthenware clay. You need to fire it to get it dark, to get it hard and water resistant. And I have made this particular piece from that. Now I see that there is a cracks in that because I didn't allow it to dry completely. So I think then with this one, I have applied a lot of the clay on that. You could see clearly I've applied a lot of the clay, and I'm gonna be applying the gray clay over to this miniature, this sculpture. I'm gonna be applying the gray clay to it. So let's do that part because we have finished with this. The clay, I'm gonna finish it once it dried, and we're going to see how it will going to look like. But my intention is to actually prevent the cracks because I am newbie to this clay build. I don't have that much of experience, just a few months, so I'm still learning. And so this is a fresh mat, I'm gonna be using it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a gray clay. This section I'm gonna keep it for the gray clay, and I'm gonna allow it to dry. Hours this will be dried and we will carve together, and also this would also be dried, so we will carve together after 24 hours. But before that, I need to work upon something, so I'm just taking a terracotta clay. Guys, after 24 hours now, you could see there is a big cracks on this surface. Like, I don't know how these cracks are coming. I think I just forgot to match with the medium that is below it, and I was keep applying the portions to get rid of them. So I think I need to give it a little bit of the time because winter is approaching, and when winters are approaching, working with the clay is really tough because it's too wet when you want to work with that, and it just dries. It takes so much time in drying, so it feels like it will going to take more than 24 hours because this one is really cracking, and I don't want that. I don't know why it's so much cracking. I mean, I'm not used to working that much with the clay, especially on the wood surface. Like I started 1 month back only, so still I'm new to it and I'm still adapting. I'm still learning from it. The same thing is with this one. I applied the clay, then it was a crack, and I removed that. So there is no result I have to show for you guys for both of these. I'm gonna remove everything from here again because there's a lot of the cracks, and you could see that this area is creeping out. So I'm gonna be just removing it like that, and just we're going to see what I can do with this one because it's really big crack. Like, as a part of the process, guys, sometimes we do mess up, sometimes we don't. Now at the back you could see there is a complete messed up. My bed is completely filled with the clay because yesterday I've been working on my bed with the clay, and then I have to just clean it up, but still it's kind of like a messy. Although I cleaned a lot, I think I need to shift all those things again to my art studio instead of working in my bedroom. because I feel like I want to work in the bedroom. I don't know why. So I bring everything here on in my bedroom and it's like a complete mess. So I think I really need to give some time and clean up the next thing I want to show you with the watercolor texture. Now this one is fine. Like it's not too light, too dark. I think I want this texture the same way. This one is kind of like a surprising. I mean, I never expected to be in this way. Like it's too light, but even though I can see the watercolors textures over here because it's not a plain white paper, so obviously you can see that, but I don't know what's happening with me. Like yesterday when I was working on this all the projects and I was shooting and recording this particular vlog, I feel like I was kind of like a messed up and I was like doing all the things one at a time and I don't know what the heck I was doing, but I think that's the part of the process being an artist and being a painter or whatever you call it. Like this is just a part of the process. Sometimes we do mess up a lot and sometimes things work so amazingly well that with just one thing you can do all the other things. So it just, and they're taking a lot of the time to actually dry it out. It's all because of the winter. The same thing is with the clay, so I really need to adapt and take some time with that and go slow with that because winters are not the good months to work on a clay based on my own knowledge. I don't know, maybe it would be different for you, but do let me know in the comment section below if it's different for you. I feel like in the winter I need to be really slow with the mediums that are completely water based, especially the clay, the watercolors, because they take a lot of the time to dry it out and you messed up a lot because it's too wet. And when the things are too wet, the clay is too wet, you can't work properly. You really need to have that kind of like a tough stage in which you can make something out of it. But that's the end of this vlog, guys. After 24 hours I have shown you the results. Some are kind of like a disappointing and some are kind of like okay, fine. But anyway, guys, this is a part of the process. We do learn from our mistakes, we do get messed up, and we again get up rise, and that's all. Hopefully you enjoyed this vlog. Do let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you want more such vlog, consider subscribing, hit the bell icon. Whenever we upload it, you will be get notified about it. Thank you so much for watching. See you for the next time. Take care. Bye, guys.